Live from Kings Mountain High School, it's Mountaineer football tonight, the weekly coaches show where we discuss everything Mountaineer football. Brought to you by the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club and sponsored by ASI Incorporated, Harris Funeral Home, and the Kings Mountain Family YMCA. The Player of the Week is brought to you by Butler's Outdoor Design. And now your host, Craig Short, with head coach Straight Herring for Mountaineer football tonight.
Welcome, fans. Mountaineer football tonight. Your weekly show, Mountaineer football. I'm here with Coach Herring, and we're going to welcome him in just a moment. We'll get ready to talk about the big win this past Friday night against Bandys here at John Gamble Stadium. After that, we'll talk about the upcoming game this week against the Charlotte Catholic Cougars. We'll also name our players of the week for each sides of the ball and special teams, and go talk about more that's going on with Mountaineer Nation as we finish up the season, the show, excuse me there. So we'll stay around after this break. We come back, we'll get into the game from this past week and talk to Coach. See you in a minute.
May try to do some type of fade here or, again, another run. But watch Texas out here. He's one-on-one.
Bell back to throw over to Texas.
So it's a quick slant. Low. And that's a flag
on the play.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Good ball. But again, I feel like Tex was held.
He was, and I think they're going to get him. He grabbed a hold of him, but I think they're going to get him for pushing him right there at the end. Yeah. I saw the official give like a forearm.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I don't blame the guy. He was beat inside. Here's the deal. It's only half the distance.
Yeah.
So that's really not a bad penalty right there. You going to let him do that or have a touchdown?
Right.
So I'm going to commend the defensive back right there. That's not a bad penalty at all.
Exactly.
I mean, so still second down.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically look at that, Lamont. I mean, it's basically a 3-yard penalty.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I mean, so not a bad thing.
Bringing in the big package here, what we used to call heavy, or we used to call what, nasty.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Second and goal from around the 3-yard line. Heavy set is in. Get the ball off to Coleman around the left side. He should go right in. Touchdown, Mountaineers. Mountaineer kind of slow to get up. Mountaineer football tonight is brought to you by the Kings Mountain Family YMCA, Harris Funeral Home, and ASI Incorporated.
Welcome back. Coach, welcome.
Yes, sir.
Should have shook your hand earlier, sorry.
Yeah, that's good.
Talk about the Bandys game. I wanted to say, watching them, they reminded me of what I remember from them. They've not changed.
Right.
I remember them from years ago, watching them as a fan, but then also some schools where I've worked have played them. Hard-nosed, well-coached, good-looking kids.
Yeah.
I think some of our fans thought that they saw a score from 2 weeks prior against St. Stephen's, which St. Stephen's is better this year, but in this area, St. Stephen's is not traditionally that strong. But I knew, I'm no dummy. I know what Bandys would bring, and I had heard about the quarterback, and then when I saw him, for sure, and I know we got out of place a couple of times, but other than that, they were a solid team.
Yes, sir.
And you're going to get, in my opinion, you're going to get everybody's best shot because you guys have a strong tradition as well. And I'll let you talk about this obviously as we go. I know how young we are, and it's wild because we've got a good mixture. Yes, we're young, but we've also got some veteran players. But we're winning games that sometimes we're winning them in an ugly way, but we're winning them ways we need to win them. Defenses are making stands, offenses making plays when they need to. I don't want to speak for you, but I'm thinking you got to be pleased with some of the ways we're coming up with some of this. and how we're getting out of some of this adversity.
Right, and that's one of my 3 takeaways. And so you've already touched on one, but the bottom line is you want to win games, and what we preach to our players is that if we go out and we work hard and you put in the work, you're in the weight room in the summertime, and you condition yourself and you learn how to play, how to execute, then when things get tough, that's when good things have got to happen. And I'm just pleased that every team that we've played so far has been a team that's given us really probably their best shot so far in this season, and we've been able to come out on top.
Right.
And it wasn't pretty. They haven't been pretty, but they're wins.
Right.
And everybody talks about being young and that kind of stuff. I told our kids before that game was over, and we had a guest speaker who spoke at devotion. And he Mr. Gash made a really good point to him. He said, I'm tired of hearing about how young y'all are, and it doesn't matter when the ball is on the field and the whistle blows. You got to go make plays, and that's what our guys are doing. They're making plays.
Yeah, and it lends itself to the preparation piece.
Right.
Because one of the things that I'm noticing is that, at least from a distance, I'm not on the sideline, but from a distance, it looks like they don't ever feel like they're out of a game.
Right.
They don't get down. If they make a mistake, they fight right back, and that's a big deal. And we said in the kickoff show that if that's the type of approach we could take looking into the season, that we could really do some damage, and that's what you were hoping for.
And that is, you just hope you get better and better each week.
Right.
That's the key.
Right.
Is get rid of those mistakes and get better at executing.
So I know traditionally Bandys, I'm not seeing them play in a couple of years, but traditionally they ran the ball a lot.
Yeah.
Were you surprised? Did you know they would be in the empty set a lot of the night? Was that something they'd done?
Well, I was surprised they were in it for as much as they were, but we knew they would do that. We've seen it on film. But that quarterback, that's what really, he can throw the ball, but really what he does well is he spreads everything out, or they spread everything out, and he finds a gap and he's gone. And he's a lot faster than maybe people give him credit for. He can go.
Yeah, it's their first drive. It took almost 5 minutes off the clock, but we blocked a field goal.
Yes.
They go for a field goal. Basically, we took it off the tee, it looked like.
Yeah, I think they had a bad hold. I think the snap was good, but I think the holder fumbled it, and we got it blocked. So that was a big play because they had driven. I think they had like 4 first downs to drive down there, and it looked like they were going to come away, score first, and we got the block. And it was a good effort by our guys. I think Day was the person. He got credited for blocking it.
Yeah,
so
we'll say it was him. And then we end up scoring with 2 minutes. So we get down pretty quick and score. Again, even though they ate up a lot of clock, you had to be pleased with how you started the game because you responded. You blocked the field goal, and then we drive right down and score. Yeah, I think we came back and had like about 4 first downs, just marched it down the field. We ran the ball well. We made a couple of good passes, and I think that that first one, and I can't. Y'all probably know better than I do. That was KJ's. That was who was that? Dry scored the first one.
Yeah, that was Dry.
Yeah.
Scored the first one, yes. Okay, what I've got written down is you also noticed after we scored the touchdown, we have a new kicker.
Yes. We talked about him a lot.
Yeah, Vidal Carrillo has come on to take the PAT and field goal kicking job. I'm going to talk about this a little bit more at the end. But the great thing about it, the reason there's not much difference between him and Vance. They both have a strong leg. Mm-hmm. They're both about equal in strength of leg. But what's happened is now Vance has jumped in and said, "Hey, I'll be the holder." Right. And that's made our PAT team much better. Nothing against the guys that were doing it before, but that's made us a lot better.
Well, it also gives you depth.
Yeah,
more than anything, it gives you more depth. Right. Yeah, we talked about him a lot, and he did excellent. In fact, we'll talk about. I'll say it now. Even the field goal that he missed. which after the penalty backed us up a little bit, it was still only about a yard short or so.
Right.
So it would have been good. So yeah, that's a big deal to come in his very first game to ever do it and kick like that.
That's right.
Absolutely.
He was 4 for 4, so
yes.
he did a good job. But anyway, we scored first, and that was big. And end of the first quarter, we were up 7-0. So we were pleased at that point for sure.
So they get a score early on in the second quarter to tie it up at 7, and then we have a really good drive. It goes down, and we have to punt the ball back with right under 10 minutes, but Vance gets a really good punt off, gets it down inside the 10.
Yep.
And they end up scoring at the 3:53 mark after I thought they were, I'm definitely not bashing officials because I don't want to do that, but I think it was aided on that a couple of bit, like the targeting call I thought was a little questionable.
Oh, boy.
But guess what? We come right back. Mm-hmm. KJ throws a honey of a ball, puts it right in the breadbasket to Tex up the sideline, and we tie it right back up with 22 seconds in the half.
22 seconds to go in half. That was a huge play, I thought, for us because the momentum kind of swung in their direction.
Yeah.
And they were probably feeling pretty good to go in at halftime, be up 7, and I think our offense responded really well.
Absolutely.
So that was a big play, big drive for us.
A friend of mine texted me when we scored that one after KJ threw that ball, and he was like, "Looks like momentum's camping out on y'all's sideline now." And I said, after that throw, he's camping out and making s'mores, because I said that's got to score in the halftime feeling pretty good.
That did.
Because the touchdown itself was great, but the whole play was amazing.
Yeah.
It was a great play.
It was, and that's two really good players connecting. I mean, and we've seen it before, and sometimes you worry about calling those kind of plays because they've seen it.
Right.
And but even still, we were able to throw it and them not stop.
No. You come out in the third, Coach, and Coleman, who, by the way, had a great game. I know you got his stats. I'll let you tell those in a minute. Coleman gets a huge run down to the 15, or 17, excuse me. Several throws there, and then KJ gets another touchdown pass to Xavier this time on a quick slant.
Yeah, that was a great play.
Great run.
We practiced that all week, man. We had a lot of space out there. We'd go trips, and on the single receiver side, there was a lot of space, and X did his job by getting inside of the defender, and KJ stuck it right on him. So we tried the same play earlier with Tex. And we got a pass interference call, the guy, and so the receivers did a good job, running those routes, things that we need. Well, they didn't run great routes, but they got where they positioned on the defender where they needed to, and KJ made a good throw to X.
And we end up getting a pick 6 right after that.
Right.
So just like that, with 8:04. Yeah. We're up 27-14. Christian made a heck of a break on the ball. Or was it off a tip? I can't remember.
Well, I think Day it hit Day's hand, bobbled up. He's got a broken arm with a cast.
Yeah.
So I don't think he could catch it. It popped up in the air, and Christian caught it and went. So that was a big play.
That was real big. And then they get back in it. Excuse me. Quarterback draw gets them to 27-21. And then we end with they end with a touchdown at 121 and the missed PAT. So we're tied at 27 because we'd gone for 2.
Remember before that, and again, going back on what you said a minute ago, I'm not going to bash officials, but we have the luxury of watching video.
Yeah.
And right after that, when it was 27-14. Xavier Hutchins had a great pick in the back of the end zone, and from watching the video, not only did he get 1 foot down, I think he got both feet down, and they didn't give him credit for it. If we get that interception, this is a totally different ball game.
I agree.
So
we were talking about that when it looked like Xavier came up, and I think he cramped or something. I thought he was pointing at the ground, trying to show him where he got his feet in.
Yeah,
because it was hard for us to see. I thought he was out, but of course we're way up and he's on the far side. But he made a heck of a play.
He left the ground to go pick that ball off. He was in the middle of the end zone. So if he can jump from the middle of the end zone backwards all the way out of the back of the end zone, he's Superman. So
same guy will make that call that's on their side.
I ain't gonna get into that.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just thought I'd ask. Yeah. Anywho, we go to the fourth. Sweat. That's when Sweat scores. 11:42, the block PAT. That was another big play because that would have giving them the lead because we'd gone for 2 and misses. We had 27. They score. We block the PAT and make it tied, and then Coleman starts up again. He's got huge runs. Then the great pass to Tex in the corner at 7:21 to go up 34-27. So again, we talked about this earlier. They punched, but we punched back.
Right. And the great thing, we made some mistakes, and quarterback's the hardest position on the field to play, and but it's awesome, like when you see KJ do something that we worked on in practice. So like the pass you're talking about to Tex is what we call a hole shot. So if you got a safety that's a half field safety on the hash, and your receiver in the corner is pressing, and he's down, and that receiver can beat that corner. Most of the time, if you can throw a shot right in there about 18 yards, don't lob it up, but you can stick the ball in there at 18 yards. That's what we call a hole shot, and so we had talked about that all week long, and we actually didn't talk about it on that play. That particular play was a different play, same route, but a different play. But KJ remembered that, and as soon as he saw Tex get past that corner, instead of just lobbing it up and letting him go get it, which would give the safety time to get there, he threw the hole shot, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Yeah. So that's exciting to see, because you know that the players are picking up on some of the stuff that you're trying to coach them to do.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing I want to talk about too, Coach, at the end of the game, you've got 2 big stands by the defense.
Yeah.
They hold them. When we go up 34-27 with 7:21, and then they get the ball back, and the defense makes a huge stand and holds them.
Yep.
We get the ball back, and we turn it over on one of the craziest plays I think I've ever seen.
I'll tell you what, after the game, we were in the handshake line, and I looked at one of those players and said, man, where's the defensive end that picked off the screen pass? And one of the kids looked at me and smiled and says, number 21. I walked over there to him and I said, man, how'd you do that? Yeah. I mean, the only guy I've ever seen do that was Jadavian Clowney. And I was like, man, how did you do that? And he said, Coach, you threw it right to me. And I just hugged him on the head, told him it was a great play, and went on my way. But that was something I wasn't expecting to happen. And, they had changed. I knew that they were going to change. They had been playing that whole fourth quarter. They took a linebacker out of the box. They were keeping 5 in, and they were covering all 3 of our receivers out of trips. I knew when we came back out they weren't going to be able to do that, because they knew we were running the ball. They were going to bring a linebacker back in the box. And so, hey, man, the best thing to do is just throw the quick screen and get us 2 or 3 yards. And I'd already told Tex, once you catch it, don't go out of bounds. Just stay in bounds. I don't care. Get us 3 and stay in bounds. Yeah. And he never got it.
Yeah.
But on the other side, if you watch the clip, Tex does a great job of running that guy down, stripping the ball out, and getting it back on the ground and giving it back to us, it was huge, because if they'd had the ball right there, we'd had a hard time stopping them again.
Yeah, and they would have probably run the clock out completely.
Yes. Yeah.
And then, you go, we recover it, they get a safety.
Right.
We have to punt it back to them or kick it, and we make another stand.
That's right. And that was big for us, because we give them the ball right there at midfield. It wasn't like it was some, they had to drive from the 20. They had to go from the 50. So it wasn't. I wasn't real happy right there. I wasn't real sure what's going on, what we were going to do. So real happy that the defense did what they did.
Yeah, you have to be, because they stood up twice right there at the end of the game when you needed them to. That was really big. So. All in all, another win, great win against a really good team. Coach, I'll let you end that segment by telling me, give me your 3 takeaways from the game that night.
Well, I hate to be negative, and it's not so much negative as it is trying to get better, but we got to do, even though our defense did a great job right there late in the game, getting the stops that they did, we've got to do a better job on 3rd down. Mm-hmm. Our defense, the first series, we come out there, it's 1st and 10, then it goes to 2nd and 10, then it goes to 3rd and 10, and we're like, hey, man, everything's good. They get a 1st down, and then they drive. They get 4 first downs after that. I think they converted 3 or maybe 4 third downs on us, and so we've got to do. Our defense they've got to recognize when they get them in third down, we got to have a stop and get the ball back. And then of course the next thing, I write down penalties. I try to write down penalties so I can't, because sometimes on film you might get them, you might not. This is the only way to keep up with them. I had a list that long of penalties on the back of my sheet, and we've got to do a better job with penalties.
Yeah.
We can't have all those penalties. And then the third takeaway was what we were talking about earlier. Ugly wins are better than the alternative. I mean, even though if you win and you don't play really, really good, it makes you think about what you could do if you did play well. Mm-hmm. So we'll take wins any way we can get.
Absolutely.
Them. But we got to get better. But I'm really excited for our guys, because I think even they had doubts coming in to the season. I don't know how much where they thought they would really be, mm-hmm. and all the talk of being young and this and that. I'm really happy. I mean, they're 3-0. We told them that again today at the end of practice. Hey man, we got some guys walking around here that look like they just lost their puppy or something. I said, man, y'all need to be happy. We're 3-0. So I'm real pleased with that.
Yeah, you need to be. It was a good win. Again, it was a quality win.
Yes.
Against a really good team.
No doubt.
That I think will make some noise in their conference and the
so
playoffs. So that's the recap of the Bandys game. We'll take a break real quick. When we come back, we'll talk about this week's opponent, which is Charlotte Catholic. So stick around. We'll see you in a minute.
First and goal from about 4.5.
This is exactly what we need. It's like the first drive we had in the first half.
Yeah, I agree, Lamont.
Yeah.
And we've got to capitalize right here, what I think we can.
Exactly.
Let's protect the ball, get in the end zone.
Ladybug.
Good luck.
Student body right that time. Nowhere to go. He'll be stopped in the backfield.
That's a great play by the defense right there by number 9 and 40. Stringing it out and getting in their gap really well.
Second and goal from the 7.
Second and goal from the 7. Mountaineer switching out some personnel. Man in motion. Quick throw right over the middle. Touchdown on the slant.
Was that Mr. Xavier Hutchins?
Yeah. Great ball, great throw, great catch. Awesome play.
Mountaineers tack on 6 more. Go take a 6-point lead here in the opening. Mountaineer Football Tonight is brought to you by the Kings Mountain Family YMCA, Harris Funeral Home, and ASI Incorporated.
Welcome back, fans. Coach, let's talk about Charlotte Catholic. We know 6A opponent, which is our classification. Know it's going to be a huge atmosphere. Have you ever been there?
No.
So they've got basically a closed end that'll be opposite to our left from our sideline. That's where the band and the students sit. So,
yeah, I've seen it on video.
Yeah, great. I mean, it is a fun place to watch a football game.
Right.
And they are always so good and competitive. Yep. But we've got a good team too, so it should be a good atmosphere, good environment.
Right.
We talked about this in the preseason show about, a game like this is basically like a playoff atmosphere because they're going to have a big crowd. Our people are going to travel for sure. And they go, they'll be excited about seeing us come in there.
Yeah.
What's been your approach? I mean, it's only been a day. Y'all only had film this week. The kids got to talk about it. Y'all got to be with him today. Tell me what you're thinking like so far going in.
I think there's, Charlotte Castle's a lot like the 2 teams we played the last 2 weeks. They're just really hard-nosed, well-coached team that there's going to give you problems because they do a lot. When you look at them defensively, they do a lot of stuff in the secondary is hard to figure out, and which is good. I mean, that's what we try to do is disguise our coverages and things like that, and it always looks the same, but it's not the same. It's always something different. And so we got, and so when we talk to our quarterback, it's all about, we can't just walk in and say, hey, when we get this and they do that, we want to throw the ball here. Our quarterback's going to have to keep his eyes open. He's going to have to find spots in the grass and throw the ball where it needs to go. And up front they've got a defensive lineman that's as good as anybody we've seen this year, maybe the best we've seen this year. And so running the ball is going to be tougher. And so I mean they're really, really good. Offensively, they're going to line up and pound it, and you just got to figure out a way to stop them.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be easy. So really, really good team, well coached, and they're strong and physical.
Yeah, they always have been, and I know that it'll be a good test for us, but I also know you want to play a game like this because it also shows you how we are, and it prepares us for things down the road too. We've got more physical and games to play and good teams. Do they still run a version of the wing tee sort of?
Yeah, it's that, but they also will get in the gun and do some other things too. And I I got to be fair. I haven't really watched a whole lot of their offense because of how much I have to spend on the defense, watching their defense. But just listening to Coach Carroll and hearing the things that they're talking about and watching what we were going over today, there is some wing tee stuff, the butt sweep, the quick trap, and bellies and stuff like that. So we've got it. It's that's hard to stop. It's hard to stop when teams do it well. So they're good at it.
And it's about the best way to stop it, and obviously is playing disciplined and doing your assignment football and those kinds of things. And if you can do that, you'll do it well. But you gotta, the confidence I think our team has going in is pretty high. Now, we're not taking them lightly by any means, but I think that boys are feeling pretty good about.
Yeah, well, I think they're happy where they are, and but we got it. We got things that we got to get fixed and stuff that we got to get better at, and all the way across the board. From special teams to offense to defense, and but our guys are excited, and it should be a really, really good matchup. Another tough week for us, and but we're looking forward to it because, like you were saying, it gives us a measuring stick.
Yes.
And see exactly where we land. In this area, in this region, or the level that we're at. So, we're gonna be ready to play.
Absolutely, I know you will. So Charlotte Catholic Friday night. Drew's that at 7:30. 7:30. We think.
I think it's 7.
I think it's 7.
I'm just
7.
Coach, I don't know.
7. But we'll check it.
Yeah, I think it's 7.
I think it is 7. Out you come up with it, but we'll be there. I know the fans will come out and support the Mountaineers there at their stadium. I think it's Keffer Stadium, something like that.
Yeah.
Keeter. Thank you. One of them starts with a K.
Yeah,
Keffer, like Keffer Dodge.
I saw it on the sign.
Keeters and Shelby.
Yeah.
We're talking about this too much. We'll move on. So when we go back, we'll take a sponsor. That's right. It's on the graphics. We'll correct ourselves. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll name our Butler Outdoor Designs Players of the Week. So stick around. We'll be back in a minute.
Because Bandy does not want to go down 2 scores.
No. Yeah, we've had trouble getting off the field on third down.
Right. This is huge for us.
Sweat back to pass. He's in the pocket. Right over the middle.
Yes, sir.
Getting out of his hands. Mountaineers got it.
Yes, sir.
Interception. Pick 6, Mountaineers.
That's big time.
Christian Jarrett.
Yes, sir. Christian Jarrett was big at the Shelby game.
Yes, he was.
We needed that. That's big time.
We talked about him in pregame about him being a big influence in the outcome of this ball game.
Mountaineer Football Tonight is brought to you by the Kings Mountain Family YMCA, Harris Funeral Home, and ASI Incorporated.
Welcome back, fans. Coach, let's do our Players of the Week, the Butler Outdoor Designs Players of the Week. Let's start. You want to do honorable mentions first?
Let me just go through them.
You go through them. I ask you this every week. Yeah. I don't ever remember how we do it, so I'm just going to.
Well, I messed it up last week, so I did them all, and then I went and did the honorable mentions after. So I guess we can change it up every week.
That's right. Keep on the
the same all the time.
That's right.
But the overall player of the week again this week is our running back, and this time Ja went down, and so we're going to, we hope to see him back later on in the season, but he's going to be out for a while, and but Kareem Coleman stepped up, and I was so happy for him. He did a great job for us last year as on our JV team, just getting better and better each week. And I know that he's been kind of waiting his turn when Josh showed up, and when he got his opportunity, he really capitalized on it. So he had 25 carries for 180 yards, and
that's a good night.
That's a good night. So Kareem is going to be our overall player of the week. Defensive player of the week, I'm going to go with Xavier Hutchins, and here you go. Yeah, I can't. I'll mess myself up. Can't see nothing. 42 production points, which led the team. He had 5 solo tackles, which when you get a DB making 5 solo tackles, that's pretty good. He had a third down stop, a pass broken up, and an Alamo tackle. So he saved us on a long run, and so, and then I also think about the interception that he made in the end zone. Right. In my mind, I count it. We can't count it on the sheet, but in my mind, I count it. So Xavier had a great game, and he's a defensive player of the week. Honorable mentions on defense, Deshaun Camp. He had 39 production points, which was second on the team. 11 tackles, quarterback pressure. He blocked the kick. He had tackle for loss. So Day was number 2. He was the honorable mention. Isaiah Branch, we used him for the first time on defense this week. He had 2 tackles, a third and fourth down stop, and 4 passes broken up. And he made a great play down in the corner. So Isaiah's on there. Latham Feimster had a good night, and even KJ Parker. Baker Parker, he's on our special teams and stuff. He did a great job and had a good night stat-wise for as much as he was on the field. So all of those guys are defensive honorable mentions. On offense, I'm going to go with Tex, and he had 5 catches, 81 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And so the 2 touchdowns were big for us, and so I'm going to say he's our offensive player of the week. KJ Bell would be an honorable mention because he threw 3 touchdown passes, and Xavier Hutchins, he also had 3 catches and a touchdown, so he would be an honorable mention for offense also. Our special teams player of the week is who we talked about earlier, Vance Johnson, and the reason why I'm going with Vance is because as soon as Carrillo came on board, Vance was the first, because I went to Vance and said, look, now, are you going to be okay? And he said, yeah, Coach, I'm fine. I'm going to be the holder. He's going to be the kicker. That's incredible. And so by him doing that, it has made our PAT field goal team better. And so Vance had 5 holds, and all of them were great. It made us better. He had a 51-yard average on his kickoffs, and he had a punt for 41 yards. So Vance will be the special teams player of the week. Honorable mentions is Vidal Carrillo. He was 4 for 4 on PATs. And Xavier Hutchins again. So Xavier. He had a 41-yard kickoff return. That was really nice.
That was one negated by the offsetting penalties, right?
No, his counted. There was another one later that got offset.
Yeah, but we still got a good return out of Tex.
Yes.
Yeah, that was those offsetting ones were about as the late hit out of bounds was one that I was questioning too, but we won't get into that.
Yeah, and it wouldn't do us no good.
No, it won't. So great choices for our Butler Outdoor Designs Players of the Week. So, Coach, we'll get you out of there on that. I appreciate everything. let's go to Charlotte Catholic and beat the Cougars Friday night.
Yeah, tough task, but I'm interested to see how we do.
Absolutely. It'll be a good measuring stick.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for
All
having me.
right. Yes, sir. Be back after the break.
Mountaineer Football Tonight is brought to you by the Kings Mountain Family YMCA, Harris Funeral Home, and ASI Incorporated.
This week.
You call
I'll just read them as they come up.
Hold on, I got to figure out what I'm doing.
Welcome back, fans. Let's go over some things. We're going to talk about this week at Kings Mountain and things going on for our school, and we'll also talk about our nominee for WSOC Big 22 Player of the Year. So Drew will pop up a graphic, and we'll go from there.
Oh, you want to do that one first?
Oh, what was I going to do?
Can you not see it?
No, I can't see anything. I can see the KM logo. There we go. The weekly athletic calendar. Thank you, Drew. So today, the women's golf was at Kings Mountain Country Club at 1 o'clock. Probably a few of them were, no, they're done. 7:18, they're done. Volleyball was away at Mountain Island Charter at 4:30 and 6. Men's soccer was away at East Rutherford. Tomorrow, you got cross country. They've got a meet. That's the Cleveland County Championship at 5:15 at Cleveland Community College. So good publicity for them. Volleyball is away at Ashbrook at 4:30 and 6, and men's soccer will play at Bessemer City at 6 o'clock. There are no events scheduled for Wednesday. Thursday on the 11th, women's tennis will be away at Forest View at 4 o'clock. Volleyball will host South Point at 4:30 and 6. And of course, JV football will be right out there at John Gamble hosting the Charlotte Catholic Cougars at 7 p.m. And then Friday night, the big one, our Mountaineers travel down to Charlotte Catholic and play the Cougars. It says 7:30. We'll double check on the time. There's a theme for that one. It is 7 o'clock. The theme for that one is Country Club, but regardless of that, if you want to dress like you're going to the Country Club, go ahead. But we hope Mountaineer fans will come out for sure. If we're going to broadcast the game, we'll put that out later in the week. We don't know for sure if we're going to be able to broadcast just yet. So those are your events for Kings Mountain High School this week. Also want to put up that there is the graphic for hometown ticketing. You can get your tickets there. This will probably also be put up on the athletic website via Facebook and other social media outlets. But you can see right there, purchase your tickets online ahead of time. The general admission is $10, and you will see how to get those and have them ready when you go into Charlotte Catholic, so you don't have to worry about, I don't think you can buy them there as you get there. You got to have them as you go in, the way it was at Asheville a few years ago. We also want to make sure to vote for Tex. Tex is, as we announced at the game the other night, you've seen on social media, Mr. Vaughn is a nominee for one of the Big 22 Players of the Year, the WSOC Big 22 Players of the Year. A lot of what he gets is based on stats, but most of his competition and his ability to win is based on fan voting. I think you can vote multiple times a day, up to 9 times a day. Please go and vote for Tex, not just because you want to vote for him that much, but because he is well deserving of this honor. It would be great to see him win this honor from WSOC and represent Kings Mountain. He's having a great season, and I hope that you'll go and consider and vote for him. You can see the QR code there on the screen, but I know you can also go to WSOCTV.com or Channel 9 TV, whichever one you may have to Google it, but you can go to their website and go to Big 22 and vote. And then maybe bookmark it so you can continue to vote. That'll go throughout the whole season, and then let's get him in the running. Hopefully he wins that award at the end of the season. Helping the band, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure Drew put it up last week too. Still would love for you, Drew did not talk about it last week, he just shook me off. We want you to, if you can, to help the band. You can see right there, they're trying to get donations and discounted meals of any kind. for the band as they are here at home, but also as they travel. They'll be there Friday night at Charlotte Catholic, and so it's a big deal to have them go, but we also want them to be fed because young people get hungry, of course. So you can see right there, your support keeps them energized and motivated. You can talk to Rachel Washburn. There is her phone number, 675-6130, or Kim Boland, 704-472-8318. This is also posted on the school's website and social media. If you can help the band, please do. We love the band, the atmosphere they help set. Please help feed them if you can.
And not just the band, the cheerleaders.
Absolutely.
They're always looking for help.
They are. Anybody, like Drew just said, I know you probably could hear him, but anybody that has to do anything with our program. Look, even those of us that broadcast, if you want to bring us some stuff to the press box and feed us, that's right. Drew brought me Drew, I got one from Kim Boland Friday night. Thank you, Kim. Shout out. Fan of the week. I'm going to go ahead and call it. Kim Boland, fan of the week, because you brought me a Diet Sun Drop in the press box on Friday. But no, we appreciate that. And I just want to say, fans, thank you for being with us and watching this week, as you do each week, and for your support. We do this for you, but we do it because of the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club. We always say that they make all of this possible, and we hope that if you're not a member, you will join, because as I tell you all the time, everything the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club does is about the Mountaineer family and the Mountaineer Nation. Whether it's academics, athletics, clubs, extracurricular, whatever, the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club is there for us. And all of you who are a part of it help make that happen. And we really, really thank you, including this broadcast. We thank you for all of your support. To join, you can go to kmtouchdownclub.com. Excuse me. You can see David and Marie at the home games out there selling programs and jerseys. You can also talk to one of us, and we can get you into it, talking to Coach Cruz, the athletic director, or Haley Spearman, the assistant athletic director. Please consider joining the KM Touchdown Club, regardless of your affiliation, if you are all about things Kings Mountain Mountaineers. We also want you to like and subscribe to this channel if you've not already done so. The more likes we get, the better it is for us, because it helps us continue to be able to broadcast. So spread the word and tell your friends about what Kings Mountain does and how we have this program on each week. We thank you so much for that. So another great week, big and huge, that's the same word. Big game Friday night against Charlotte Catholic as we go down to take on the Cougars. We hope that you can come to the game, be watching social media. Drew will put out if we're able to broadcast, if we are. If we're not, make sure you follow us for the show next week, or Mike can pick it up through NFHS. Don't really want to promote them, but that might be a way you can see it. But we really want you to come to the game if we're not broadcasting. Get on down there and support the Mountaineers. Until then, have a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves and your families. Make sure you tell those that you love them, and give them a hug and love on them this week, Lord, because you don't know how much that means to people. It's a big thing to love your family and love your friends. Make sure they know that. Have a wonderful week. Be blessed. Take care, and we'll see you next week.
Mountaineer Football Tonight was brought to you by the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club and sponsored by ASI Incorporated, Harris Funeral Home, and the Kings Mountain Family YMCA. The Player of the Week, brought to you by Butler's Outdoor Design. This has been a presentation of KMHS Sports.